Alright guys, this video is going to be the guide for the only aim training you will ever need. This warm-up is going to improve you exponentially. Alright, and how often you're hitting headshots, how you're flicking to these people, just overall gameplay is going to go up and skyrocket. Alright, I'm going to break it down into 2 steps. It's very simple. We're going to show you 2 steps and we're going to move fast. Because I know right now you are throwing your ranked games. That's probably why you're here, which is fine. I was doing the same thing before I started this warm-up. But enough said, I'm gonna let the gameplay and the video speak for itself. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first things first, we're just gonna wanna jump into shooting range. Alright, go ahead. It's gonna be in the training section on your home screen of Rainbow. Jump right into shooting range. Now, I wanna put a disclaimer here. I am not gonna show you my personal sensitivity and settings that I use, because constantly changing your sensitivity, your aspect ratio, all these things is what's messing you up. Every time you change your sensitivity drastically, you're going to reset your progress, and now you have to rebuild muscle memory and regain control of this new sensitivity and layout that you've got. So anyways, we're gonna jump straight into shooting range. This is gonna be step 1, all right? And you want to just pick an operator. I start with attackers because you're gonna have to do this twice, once with an ACOG and once with a holographic. Okay, we're gonna jump right on in and we're gonna use each of these different zones. All right, first things first, we're gonna start off in zone 1. All right, this is where you're going to learn the actual gun's recoil pattern. So what I like to do is I like to just shoot the mag. I'm not pulling down at all. I just empty the magazine, and then when you look at it, you can see it is up and slightly to the left, right? So we're gonna go ahead and clear that. And for this first practice on this warm-up, I just want you to shoot 5 bullets, okay? Just 5 bullets, and try to aim for one of these little sections of the center here. You want all of your bullets to enter at least one of these 4 sections. This one is the one I like to go with because I feel like it is right in front of me, and I don't know, I like it the most, I guess. But we're just gonna shoot 5 bullets, right? Or as close as you can get to 5. And you want them to hit, for the most part, right in that spot. All right, you're gonna do that a few times until you're comfortable with your gun's tracking pattern, or recoil pattern, I mean, and then let it rip. Try to get that whole magazine in those little spots, right? Try that a couple of times until you're really comfortable. I like to do it 4 times. You know, especially if you're first starting out with this warm-up, hit it like 4 or 5 times. Nowadays, I can kind of come in, start doing this, and then I'm good to go. I do it like once or twice. So that's gonna be zone 1 anyways. Next, you're gonna go over to zone 2. Zone 2 is looked over a lot, but it's really important. I like to set it at 10 meters. If you want to challenge yourself and this setup gets a little too easy for you, you can of course set it to 20. I don't recommend doing 30 though. I feel like doesn't really make sense. I can't imagine a lot of scenarios where you're shooting someone from 30 meters away. But anyways, what you want to do here is we're going to do the same 5 bullets at a time, but you want to aim to get as many headshots as possible. So we're just going to do our usual 5 bullets at a time, and you want to be given that dummy straight head. All right, I mean what I say too. Once you're comfortable with just the 5 bullets, same thing as before. Dump your whole mag and try to get as many bullets as possible. Okay, I personally think that you need to keep doing it until you're at least hitting 8 to like 11 of those bullets are direct headshots. Okay, and I understand that like some guns are definitely gonna have more recoil than like the L8, for example. This gun doesn't have a lot of recoil, but if you're using like Ash or Twitch, I still want you to try to go and aim for at least 8 to 10. Okay, if you're just feeling impatient, maybe go for 6 or 7. Next thing that we are going to practice is tracking. I just want you to walk using just your side key, going left and right. And I want you to practice keeping that reticle on the dummy, okay? When you get comfortable, add a little bit of crouching, and you just want to keep it shoulder to head level, shoulder to head level. Do that a few times. When you've got it smooth, when you're comfortable, and you feel like you can keep that reticle on him, this time add some shooting. And just practice keeping that reticle on the dummy while you're shooting, right? It's that simple. It's really that simple. I don't too much worry about headshots. I'm doing this, but of course, you can keep it on headshots And as you can see, we still got our 11 as we want to. But anyways, that's going to be it for zone 2. We're going to go on to zone 3. Now, zone 3 is going to have a couple of things here. All right. So first off, we're going to go to our options. I like to set it to 60 seconds. If you set it to 30 seconds, then I want you to do every warm up twice. All right. If I'm in a rush and I just want to cycle through operators, I'll do 30 seconds with one operator, switch the operator, and then do another 30 seconds. But we're going to start off with 60 for an example in this guide. You want to set it to the big balls. We're going to do 4 of the maximum targets, set it to idle, put the target distance at random, okay? 0 on the timer, infinite mag ammo. All right, we're gonna apply that. We're going to begin, and I'm not gonna show the whole thing, but you just wanna practice flicking, right? And the trick to flicking is as you're aiming through and you see the red balls on the screen, your mind should be already deciding what its next target is going to be, right? That's all you want to do. This is going to help you find what grip you use on your mouse feels the most comfortable, right? Which grip do you use on your mouse gives you the most control. And as you practice it more, it becomes just muscle memory for hand placement. What hand placement works the best for you, okay? That's going to be the first thing that we're going to do here. Second thing that we are going to do here, once you've done that like 2 times, do it twice, okay? Second thing we're going to do, we're going to keep it on 60 seconds, but we're going to set it to the dummies. All right, 125 health, and we're going to put it on headshot only, okay? Don't let them use cover. We can keep 4 targets. You can set it to 2 or 3. Just have at least more than 1 in there. Now, the target movement speed, this is the important part, all right? You're going to set them to run, okay? And target distance is also going to be random, 0 on the timer, infinite ammo. We are doing infinite mag ammo for all of these, okay? Back out of that, go ahead and stand. I like to stand right at the start of this box. But anyways, you don't want to actually kill the dummies. Your plan here is you just want to track them. You want to shoot your gun and you want to track them. And you want to try not to get the headshot. You see how I got the headshot on that one? That means my gun is pulling up. So I want you to aim just at shoulder to waist level, and I want you to just practice not hitting them in the head. This is gonna help your tracking, all right? And I want you to switch targets, switch how you're aiming. Don't be scared to try this guy in the back. And if you hit it a few times, that's fine, that's fine. All you wanna do is get comfortable in learning how to move your mouse in a specific way. How much do you need to move it to stay with the target, all right? And you can already see, I wasn't warmed up before this video, and I'm already doing a lot better. It's like I'm glued to them, okay? That's going to be the second thing that we're going to do in this zone. Okay. Third and last thing, and I really like this one. This one's my favorite. I have the habit of doing this one even when I'm just like listening to podcasts or chilling while listening to music or watching YouTube. It is a really good habit to have. You're going to keep it on the dummies, 60 seconds, 125 HP, turn off headshot only, set it to 1 target, all right? And then you're going to want them on idle. Put the distance at random, and this time we're going to turn the timer up to 2. Okay, I see a lot of people do 1. I personally like to do 2. All right, keep that mag ammo infinite. And what we're practicing this time, this is more flicking and recoil control. The dummy's gonna spawn, and then after 2 seconds, he's gonna move to somewhere else. And you can see he can change where he's at. And all you wanna do is practice flicking on that dummy. Aiming for the head will cause him to move faster, and if you're missing too many shots, then he's gonna move, right? So you have to be quick, and you have to get used to the different stances, where you need to aim for crouch, whether he's standing up, and if he'll lay down here, I can show you that one too. All right, well, he's not gonna lay down, but yeah, there you go. It'll bring you around so you can get used to tracking that at a variety of different distances, different inclines, all the good stuff, all the good stuff. So that's gonna be our little warm up and run through in here. I want you to practice this with a variety of attackers. Do at least 2 runs with 2 different attackers. That's like the calm little sweet spot where, you know, you've got your hands warmed up and ready. You can always do more. And then I want you to do the same thing with defenders. Same exact process. Usually if I warm up, I kind of skip zone 1 with defenders or attackers, depending on whoever I pick to warm up second. And I come straight here and I just do the exact same thing where I practice all of them. because as you can see, it is different with a holographic than it is with ACOG. You're just going to go through and you're going to practice all three. Okay, that's going to be it for this area. We are going to go to our last step in this whole warm-up guide. This part of the guide should only really take you maybe like, I'd say like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. It usually doesn't take me that long, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump straight into the next one. All right, and for this last step in the warm-up, we are going to go to our playlist. You're gonna go back to training and you're gonna click on Clear House, okay? Set your map to ranked maps only, and I like to click random, but you should always pick whichever ranked map you have the least knowledge for, okay? Now, I've got a pretty good sense for all of these maps except for Fortress, because we're going to ban Fortress every time. We hate Fortress. But anyways, for the sake of the guide, I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to go with Oregon, okay? Now, you can pick any side you want. You want to do one playthrough with an attacker and one with a defender. And unfortunately, when the match is running, you can't swap between attacking and defending. So, you know, I always like to start with attacking. Pre-destruction, you're going to turn that on because it's going to have the AI create rotates. There's going to be holes, hatches will be open, and just like a real match, this is going to be something you're going to have to deal with. So I think it's better to train with the pre-destruction on because you want it as close to a real game as possible. Put it on the Legion. You can set it to beginner. You can set it to advanced. I don't really think it matters. I like to just play it on beginner. And you want to have headshot only on all the time. The only time I would say you don't have headshot only on is if you're warming up a shotgun or something. If you know you're coming into this to practice your aim with shotguns, then turn that headshot only off, because for some reason the AI like don't react to getting shot in the face by a shotgun. All right. Anyways, after that, you're gonna want to load right in. Once you're loaded in, go ahead and pick any operator you want. For the sake of simplicity, I don't want to fucking play Sledge. We're gonna go Yana, right? And you're just gonna load in, and I want you to play this as if it was an actual game, okay? So as you load in, I have my settings to where I like them, but if you press F10 and go to your drill settings, you can see in the guidance I have everything off. All right, I don't like any guidance in there, and these are the settings that we already had on before, right? Actually, I wonder if you can actually change it to a defender. We will test that in like just a second. Let me get through this. Make sure when you press tab and it shows the targets to ping, I like having it off because I feel like when the targets are pinged on there, it removes a little bit of the surprise and it starts having some bad habits that you can get used to in the game. But we know the targets are going to be on the second floor, and you just want to play through. Honestly, you want to play through this and you want to be quick peeking. It's going to force you to get used to headshots. So when I'm coming through and I'm like, okay, there's a guy over here. All right. I know that because I've played through Clear House and I know this could be a common spot for people. And it's going to give that muscle memory for this is head level if he's crouched. And then if a guy is over here and I'm walking through the doorway, it'll give muscle memory for he's standing up, head level is gonna be right here. So that when I'm walking through, my reticle is already right where their head needs to be, because you have to be aiming head level, right? But you're gonna just play through like usual and treat it as if it was an actual game. So I want you to be quick peeking, right? Don't just run around, quick peek. I want you to listen through and practice how you're gonna play. Build those good habits, right? That was a bad example, okay? But build those good habits where you're checking your corners, you're quick peeking, and doing what needs to be done, right? It's very simple. It's very simple, okay? This helped me so much with my muscle memory. Like, I'm telling you, this setup is a game changer. Okay, one thing I do want to say, if you are gonna take like my gameplay as bar for what yours should look like, don't really have to sprint. I don't ever recommend sprinting in an actual game of ranked or casual. That's the surefire way to get you killed, because you are making way too much noise and you can't even hear. But when you're going against the bots, to speed things up for the video, I am going to sprint. This is gonna help your aim. This is going to help you learn audio cues for footsteps because the bots are going to move around. You can hear them stand up. You can hear them sit down. I would love to get an example. See if I can get one right here. If he's going to move. Okay, they usually shift in a circle. This guy doesn't want to do it for some fucking reason. But they will shift in a circle, like just slowly turning, and you can hear their footsteps shift around. You can hear them crouch, and you can hear them stand up. You can hear them lay down, all the things. There he goes. See that? And if I shoot him, you'll see he will crouch, and he will move. So it's gonna help build all of these skills. Skills that you're gonna need in order to grow and be a better player, right? But this is gonna be our last step. Pretty simple. I told you, quick and easy, in and out. It's like a 10-minute warm-up before you go into ranked. And I'm telling you, you will see the improvement. You will see the improvement so fucking fast. I literally promise you, you will see the improvement so fucking fast. But I don't want you to just take my word for it. I want you to try it. I want you to practice it. And in a week, if you improve, come back to this video, let me know in the comments. And I think that if it worked for you, it's safe to say you owe me a like, maybe even a subscribe if you want more good ass rainbow tips, because I also stream, and in my live streams you can see me get mad and get pissed off in ranked or whichever game or challenge I'm doing until I figure these things out and then can bring them to YouTube. But it's a lot of fun. We have a very good community over there, but I promise it'll work. Don't take my word for it. All right, you came here because you wanted your aim to be better. Go try it, okay? Believe it or not, this was your idea. So show me. And I will see y'all in the next one.